far, but you know, sometimes they catch you off guard. Nice roads, pretty easy so far. Tomorrow I head into the Nullarbor plain. I don't know how to pronounce that properly. So the name of it's, I think Latin, but it's, you know, two words put together, Nullarbor. So null meaning there isn't any, and arbor meaning trees, because there's no trees there. Right, now we're 415 kilometers in, and the road's now turned to gravel. Well, dirt. It's not really gravel, it's pretty well packed down. I'll tell you what, whoever graded this section of this road, give that man a cookie. This is pretty smooth. This is all gravel that I'm driving on at the moment, and I mean, my vehicle's suspension and tyres might have something to do with it, but otherwise, that's pretty bloody smooth. Well done. There isn't even that many puddles. You just sort of spot a puddle 150 metres down the road and then you gently swerve around it like I'm currently doing now. Piece of piss. Beautiful. Where I am now, I could still be doing 110 according to the speed limit. This area is probably where every vehicle that I've been passing the other direction has gotten filthy because it's quite wet. And I'd say it's due to the trees. Wherever you see trees, the trees tend to, well, they cast shadow over the road. So wherever you've got shadow, you're not going to get much drying in the mud, and it's going to be wet like that. That's pretty wet. This was pretty wet. Well, I think we're 90 k's out from where I'm supposed to be staying the night. I just found this beautiful lagoon thingy here. I should probably read that sign over there and see what it's called, but I'll give you a look. How's that for a bloody view? Ute's a bit filthy now. There are so many bugs. Windshield's just caked in dead bugs. They sound like rain. And I can't wipe them off. I had my automatic wipers on before, and the wipers came on after a bug, I guess, hit it in the right spot, and then it smeared them all over the windshield. And I tried to wash them off. You can't wash them off, it just spreads. It gets worse. I don't know what these bugs are eating out here, but it's horrendous. They look like raindrops. There's shed loads of them, but it's not raindrops. It is making it quite hard to see. But I dare not turn on those windshield wipers. I'm going to have to hit that with some probably window cleaner once I stop somewhere. I'm not going to bother now because there's just going to be more of them. Can't see a hell of a lot out the windshield at the moment because of all the bugs. I actually had to get out and clean it off twice now within about 50 k's. Oh, actually no, 30 k's. I bet this area floods like a bastard. Looks like a fun area to have a four-wheel drive though. Day 2. kilometres. Should. I don't know what kind of roads they are. I assume they're going to be gravel, a lot of them. It was gravel most of the way here. Well, the last probably 280, 290 kilometres has been all gravel. I'm expecting some of the same, but so far we got asphalt, so who knows. Another beautiful morning. Looks like some cloud ahead though. Hopefully I don't hit some more rain. Hopefully there's less bugs today. Doing the 90-mile straight, which is the straightest road in Australia, and I guess it's notable because it's straight and it's quite long, but it's not notable because it's not going to be very exciting. I'm not going to have to turn the steering wheel for quite a while, so yeah, wish me luck. There's something I have to address. That scar on the front bumper on my ute, on the driver's side. You've seen it, I know you've seen it, I know you've been quietly judging me. So that son of a bitch can't drive, he hits things. Well, I tell you what, I didn't hit things, a thing hit me, and I wasn't in the car at the time. I was at my MMA club, and when I came out after training, I'd only owned this thing about 3 weeks. I came out after training and yeah, straight away noticed that the bumper had a nice white scar on the side of it. I think I know who it was, but I never actually saw the person again. They had a very rough white van which had so many dents and scratches in it I couldn't really pick out which one was from hitting my ute, but I had reverse parked on the side of the road and this guy forward parked, and I'm guessing reversed around the front of my ute and scraped their door panel, like their it would have been their driver's side actually, yeah, across the bull bar on my ute. Didn't leave a note. We didn't have any cameras or anything at the club, so there's no video evidence of it. So that was about as far as that went, unfortunately. And I have not had time to get it panel beaten. It's hard enough being without a vehicle for a day when I rely on my vehicle to get to work and all that sort of thing. So it's not been fixed yet. I'll get there eventually. Probably not for a few months, I think, but that's what the scar's from. It wasn't me. This road's a bit narrow. The Nullarbor now because there is Nullarbor around. It's very arborless. There's some shrubbery, but no arbor. Not a tree to be seen. They could be hidden behind the cloud, but I doubt it. We'll just assume that's where we are now. Okay, so day 3. I've so far covered 1,379 kilometres. It's been dry up until this morning. Luckily last night I checked the forecast. It said it wasn't going to rain. It just said cloudy. But I interpreted cloudy as it might rain. So
I threw a tarp over the tent before I went to bed, which was a good decision because it started raining about 6 a.m. So I woke up to take a leak and just jumped back into the tent and then started hearing raindrops on the roof. So demobed in the rain. Hopefully the tarp kept the majority of the water off the tent, so it shouldn't be wet tonight. Got some diesel. That's another note. For some reason my diesel consumption is not great on this trip. The first day was actually pretty good, and I was driving mainly, well, probably 60% of it was asphalted roads, and then I got onto gravel, sort of muddy gravel for the last 40%, and the fuel consumption actually was better then than it is now. I was on about 12 litres per 100 kilometres, which is high for one of these, but the fuel consumption in this has gone up since I put the bigger wheels and tyres on anyway. Bigger tyres, smaller wheels, which is understandable. They're big knobbly tyres, so they're a lot more friction on the road. But I'm not sure why it's gone up so much. So it was about 12 litres per 100k on the sort of 60-40 road to gravel, tarmac to gravel. And then the last couple of days it's pushed up to 14. I might check it now actually. The average is 13.9. I've actually dropped today, which is nice. Yeah, so you can see my consumption there. Yeah, 13.9, which is not great for this. Before I put the wheels and tyres and the tent on, it would get like 8 litres per 100 kilometres. So I've nearly doubled it, which isn't great, but no, it is what it is. Otherwise it's been alright. I've been adding diesel conditioner too, because I've heard the Outback fuel isn't always the best. So yeah, so I've been adding Maury's diesel conditioner. This is not a paid advertisement, but I've been adding some diesel conditioner to each fuel tank that I've been getting just to help it through, because this is a, you know, European vehicle with sensitive parts, for want of a better way of putting it. So you've got to make sure that the injectors are clean and the fuel going through is relatively clean. But I have a feeling maybe, I'm just going to keep an eye on it, but possibly I might need to change fuel filters or the fuel filter at the end of the trip, just to purge it of any crappy fuel. And then maybe before I do the trip back, I might add a catch can, just so it's got something to separate the shit out of the diesel. And that might hopefully bring my consumption down. Diesel's not super expensive. Average, usually it's around $1.80 probably a litre. I never thought I'd find that cheap. I remember not so long ago, maybe 5-6 years ago, when it was like $1 a litre, but there we go. Sign of the times. The border towns are where it's most expensive, so the further you get away from the coastline and into the centre, it's like Euclid's right on the border, and the fuel there is $2.40 a litre for diesel, so that's pretty dear. It's like $120 for just over half a tank. But that's why we work hard all summer, so we can buy diesel for our silly road trips. Sorry, educational road trips. Day 4, last big day. I'm in Victoria now, across the border. It was a particularly rainy and windy night, so I slept alright, but not the best. It's pretty noisy in the tent there. Wasn't too bad, I thought it would be a lot worse, but it's pretty decent, all things considered. What have I got? Still got 4 hours left, another 387 k's to do today. Yeah, so See how today goes. But I am driving towards clouds, so I'm expecting probably another rainy, windy night. We'll see how we go.
So for the last night, I ended up in a cabin, as you can see, because when I arrived it was pissing rain. So instead of setting my tent up in the rain and then having to stick the tarp on, which was still wet from the night before, and then this morning have to pack everything down, probably have everything wet and then have no way to dry it, I just bit the bullet and decided to get a cabin because they had plenty available. They're not too expensive. Gave me a chance to resort some of my gear, and yeah, I think that was a good choice. So yeah, last day today, heading to Buller, Mount Buller. Probably take about 3.5 hours, which is a pretty short day compared to the 6.5 and 7.5 and 8 hour days that I've been doing. So yeah, should be good. And then we'll see what the mountain's like. I think they've been doing snowmaking. I don't think they've had a lot of natural snow yet. Hopefully we get some more later on, but yeah, road trip's nearly done.
There isn't even that many puddles. You just sort of spot a puddle 150 metres down the road and then you gently swerve around it like I'm currently doing now. Piece of piss. Beautiful. I almost think that roads should be like this just because there's more shoulder. Requires a little bit of concentration to actually drive on. It'll eliminate a lot of shitty drivers very quickly. It's very straightforward, but I could see how you could cock it up pretty spectacularly. There was I think it was a Jeep Cherokee or something, I don't know, maybe 50 kilometres back, that was up on its side. It's just maybe the driver fell asleep or something, and they'd gone up the side of the bank and into the, oh, that's a big puddle. Yeah, my paint's going to be dirty. Don't wash your ute before you come on this sort of trip.